Hi there, Nathan here from pictureandword.co.uk, and a short-ish screencast today all about Pancake app. Now, Pancake app is a invoicing, billing, general freelance bit of software which allows you to do things for yourself, a bit like FreshBooks or Mint.com. In other words, it allows you to take control of your invoicing cycle, your whole business, and send invoice outs to your customers. Now, the difference between things like FreshBooks though and Mint.com is that all of this is hosted on your server. So for a one-off cost, you pay for the software and then you have it and you run it on your own server, which is quite nice because you don't have to pay a monthly recurring fee. And if you think about a $10 a month deal, that's quickly going to ramp up. And I think at the minute, we'll just check in a moment, I think Pancake costs about $150, something like that. So after about one year, just over a year, it's going to pay for itself and start to be cheaper than online services. So I quickly put in a Google search here for Pancake app, and these results came up, and clicking on this first link gets us to here. This is the page that they have on their website, advertising all of the features and bits and pieces. So we're going to be diving into all of these things. I won't do them all, but I'll do some. Anyway, up the front, let's have a look at the Buy Now link. There we go. If we click that, we get, there you go, actually I was wrong, it's $179. So in a little over one and a half years, it's going to start paying for itself. Now, the way that this works is you obviously buy the app, and there'll be a link at the bottom of this video to buy the app. Full disclosure, it will be an affiliate link, and there will be some money coming my way to keep the lights on and to buy me a cup of coffee. It's not going to make me rich, but if you choose to use that link, just so that you know, I will get a little bit of money from it. I hope you choose to do that. This is my account, and once you've paid for your software, then the download link will appear here. Mine says V4 upgrade. I think possibly this would just say V4 because we're on version 4 of Pancake app. And the way that it works is you would click on the download link, and obviously you're going to save this zip file. At the minute we're on V4.8.49. and you're going to save this zip file somewhere onto your computer. Now, I've already done that, so I won't bother. I'm going to go into the Finder because I'm on a Mac. And in the Finder, we can see here, I have put my my zip file. I've got lots and lots of versions actually going backwards in time, but this was the one here. And if I unzip it, if I double click on the Mac, this gets unzipped to this folder here, Pancake_42. I'm guessing that this number here will change over time, but these are all of the files here that come with this install. Now, what you need to do is probably read some of these instructions here, but the long and the short of it is you need to upload this folder, the Pancake folder, to your server. You need to obviously have PHP installed and something like Apache or possibly Nginx. There's a slight variation in how you get it set up with if you're running Nginx. I have Apache, so I don't need to worry too much about that. But you put all of this lot, actually you probably wouldn't need to put the license folder, but you can put all of this lot into the domain that you want to run it on. Okay, so you simply upload the contents of the Pancake folder into the domain that you want to run it on. Now, in my case, my company pictureandword.co.uk, I've created a subdomain called billing.pictureandword.co.uk. And if I go into my preferred IDE, which is Coda on the Mac, this is a test URL. So I've got testpancake.pictureandword.co.uk because I've just uploaded the contents of the Pancake directory. There it is. And you'll see that I've uploaded everything inside the Pancake directory. And this directory here is exactly the same as this one here. So I've uploaded it all to the server, and here it all is. Okay. So what you would then do is you would go to the URL from where you've put it. So in my case, I'm going to navigate to testpancake.pictureandword.co.uk, and all being well, you should see this screen. Now at this point, it's going to check a few things. You need your license key. You need to have set up a MySQL database. with a username and a password, and you need to know the host. Now, this is beyond the scope of this video, but in order to make this application run, you need a license key and you need a database. Okay, so you've uploaded the files and you've created the database and you've got your license key from Pancake app, and you should be good to go. So I'm going to click Install Pancake at the bottom. Now, it's just going to run a few tests. Hopefully all of these tests will pass, all the way down. My server meets all the minimum requirements, so that's good. If yours doesn't, you'd need to get in touch with your hosting provider to work out exactly why not, but luckily mine does. So we've passed, so I'm going to click this step 2, start mixing at the bottom. Okay, and now it's going to ask me to fill in my credentials. Okay, so I'm going to put in my database host, the port, the database name, the username and the password. These are all for my database, which I should have set up prior to doing this. But I'm going to pause the video, enter these details, and then come back to you. Okay, so I clicked step 3 when I typed in all of my database details, and hopefully everything's working okay. Now we've just got to come up with a site, so I'm going to call it test picture and word. Obviously you need something a little bit more sensible. I'm going to find my license key in a moment and put that in whilst the video is paused. Notifying email, a username for the admin account, passwords, first name, last name, address, tax rate, and then your preferred currency. I won't waste time doing all this. I shall just pause it right now and fill those in, and then I'm going to press let's eat. Okay, so I click the let's eat link at the bottom after typing everything in, and apparently I've got everything correctly set up so far because it says congratulations, and now I'm going to log in. Okay, so click login. Now let's get rid of these because that's something we don't need. Okay, so I will type in my credentials. What did I put? I think I put Nathan at picture and word. See if I can spell that right. Word.co.uk, and my password was a very rememberable one here. Okay, I decided to call my site test picture and word, and we'll click login. Okay, so here we are. This is our site, and we've got, as you can see, a bunch of links running across the top. Now this site is fully responsive, meaning that if you collapse the site, you can see that the whole design begins to change, and it works very well actually on a mobile device. It's a little bit tricky to do some of the actions on a mobile device simply because, you know, the finger gets in the way. So I always use this on my desktop, but it would work very well on a mobile device like an iPhone or an Android phone or what have you. Okay, so running down the side we have plugins. This shows you things that you have installed already. There are none in my install at the minute because I haven't bought any. But if we go to store, just here, these are plugins made by the community and in some cases the Pancake team, and they just add on certain functionality to the Pancake app. Okay, so if I go to store, you can see there's a whole range of things. There's a bank for, I don't know which country this is, but I'm guessing it's some Scandinavian country possibly. Nice little timer app which sits up in the Mac sort of tray, I'm going to call it, up here, this system bar at the top, and allows you to stop and start timers. You can see various bits and pieces. You can pay by Bitcoin, pay by Braintree. You can customize your PDF files and MailChimp and so on and so forth. Lots of different things, and a theme down here which makes the whole thing look different. Okay, so if I had installed any of those, they would be in this plugin section, but I haven't bought any, and so they're not. So I could log out here. This is the general settings area. Now you do need to go through all of these one at a time. And okay, so you did get to see my license key, so I probably need to sort this out and get rid of this section from the video. So I'll have to blank this little bit out, I think. Okay, so choose a language, choose a PDF page size. I'm in the UK, so we use A4 paper size. Your default currency is here, just about every currency on earth. Default time zone, what files could be uploaded, should you wish to allow clients to do that. Date format, month, day, year. Well, in the UK, we do day, month, year, so I'm going to leave it like that. Clock format. This is quite nice. This allows you to round off invoices to the nearest period of time. So in other words, if you work for 10 minutes, should that round up to 15 minutes? If you do 10 minutes, should that round up to the nearest 30 minutes? It's quite a nice feature. I tend to put it to the nearest sort of 15 minutes, something like that. Okay. Default task due date. So if you create a task, how long after the date that you create it will it be due? So it defaults to 7 days. I'm going to put 14 in there. In the UK, we start our financial year, bizarrely, on the 6th of April. So I'm going to put the 6th of April in there. You might have a different financial year start in the country that you're living in. Items per page. This shows lots of invoices on each page. 10 is largely enough. What do we call default invoices? Invoice seems good. Days after the invoice is created, default due date. So in other words, if you create an invoice on the 1st of April, if I put 14 in here, the due date would be 14 days after that. Usually I set it to either 21 or 14 days because I think that's long enough for the client to get themselves together and pay. And you can put some default invoice notes into here. Now, I do tend to write these, and they appear at the bottom of invoices, and they're very useful. So I might say, hi there, here is your invoice. Oops, can't spell. From Picture and Word. And there are actually some pieces of text which you can put into here. What I mean by that is there's some sort of like little shortcodes, if you like, that you can put into there which allow you to create certain functionality. I'm just having a look over on the other side here where I've got my actual install and just seeing if I can find any of them. I think you can put shortcodes into there. Let me just check. No, I haven't actually, but you can put minimal bits of HTML. So for example, you could put strong tags around your company name. What I've got on, oops, that should be end strong, shouldn't it? Yes, end strong. So this little bit here would be in bold. Anyway, you get the idea. I've basically written into mine the various ways that they can pay. I've put my Bitcoin address, my PayPal address, and so on, but you don't need to do that. Default send days before. If you have automatic invoices, I should say recurring invoices, how long before it's due should it go out? Again, I just put 14 days because that seems like a sensible time. Auto-save proposals, why wouldn't you do that? Seems like a good idea. Entry times, time entry times rather, include these in the line item descriptions. I tend not to bother with that. I run the timer on this application, and I don't really think my clients need to know exactly how many minutes and seconds or to the nearest 15 minutes, depending on what you put up here. I was working, I just send them the bill with the amount on it, but if you were to click that, it would say that on a particular task you were working for, say, 15, 30 minutes. When generating invoices, use line per item. I do that. I just leave that as task. Okay, and these ones here might be usable if you're using an SSL certificate, and if your PDFs invoices are coming out strange. And then, oh, here we go. Here's the little shortcodes which you can use. This is what goes on the bottom of PDF slips and things like that. You can change the text here so that you have something a bit more personalized, so that when a client gets a PDF, it says this at the bottom of it. So that's our general settings. Business identities. You can run multiple businesses out of this one application. Okay. So if I click on business identities, I'm just going to leave it as one, but you could add further business identities here. So in other words, I'm only using it for Picture and Word, but let's say you had another company that you would like to bill from, you can add another business identity by clicking in here, and you could have a completely separate company with logos and all sorts of different email addresses and things from in here. Okay, I'm next going to go to emails. Now, this is where the fun starts, I suppose. You need to use either your SMTP details to send out emails, or you might use Google Apps, in which case you can put your Gmail or username and password into here. You can also use the server default. I'm guessing that that's using PHP mail or something like that to send out emails, but recommendations would be SMTP, username and password in here, or possibly Google Apps. As it happens, I use Google Apps. In here is the text which will appear on all of the different communications that come out of the app to your client. So if a client receives a new invoice, this is the text that will appear on it. Now obviously you can season this to taste and make it your own so that it's not the default. I've certainly done that. Mine look very different to this. I've got extra things in there and written things so that it sounds like me rather than some piece of software that I've just bought. If you create a new estimate, there's the text that will go out. If you create a new proposal, I won't keep opening them. This one goes to an administrator, in other words, me, when a payment notification has been sent. Again, payment notification to a client. When tickets are created, because this application does tickets, you can see them all. I mean, I could go through them all, but basically there is an email template in here for every single thing that the application does, and it does so many things, and all of them are in here, and it's very, very handy having them all collected in that one place. Okay, this menu down the side here, you'll notice replicates this menu down the side here, so I'm just going to keep going down the side. You can create different tax values. So in the UK, for example, we might have a tax value of 20%. Now this is the value that we set when we installed the application. Okay, so you would obviously add tax rates depending on where you were selling and what tax you needed to apply. Currencies, you can change the currencies if you wish. Branding, now you can, if you like, change the way that Pancake looks in the administrative area. So at the minute we've got this nice blue theme which is called Pancake, but if we were to change it to be Pancake Brown, go to the, where's the save? Oh, there it is at the top. Save settings, you'll notice that it becomes this instead, which, you know, is quite nice, quite like that. But yeah, you can change it. I might put it back to Pancake just there and click save. Okay, great. Now, so where did we get to? Branding. You can, if you like, change you can customize the CSS so that your site looks slightly different to the one here. That's been quite helpful actually. I've done quite a lot of customization in here just because it kind of works better for my company. I raised the size of certain fonts and made certain other fonts a bit smaller. And so actually, if you want to stare at this for a minute, whoops, not that. Let's see if we can copy this. Yeah, I've created all this CSS, which just makes the app look a little bit nicer, in my opinion, especially when sending out invoices and things. But obviously, that's a little bit beyond the scope of this tutorial. Okay, payments. Now, you've got so many different ways of allowing your clients to pay. Authorized.net, pay in cash, pay with a check, pay with a credit card, pay by direct debit, money order, PayPal, PayPal Pro, Stripe. Now, I can't honestly vouch for all of these. The only ones that I use are Stripe. And if you save it, you need to go to stripe.com and create keys, secret keys and publishable keys, and you'd put them in there, and then that allows you to pay by Stripe. And if your client gets one of your invoices, one of the options that they'll have at the top when they're viewing it online is pay. And so they would click through, and if Stripe was chosen, they would pay through Stripe. If you'd chosen PayPal in addition, you'd put your details in here, and they would get the choice of paying by PayPal or Stripe. Obviously, if you put in check, then they would have three choices: pay by check, pay by PayPal, pay by Stripe, and so on. I've kept it to those three because they work for my business. Oh, and bank transfer, I allow that as well because that's completely free in the UK. So there we go. I would click save on those particular settings, but obviously you would need a PayPal account, you need a Stripe account, or authorized.net account, whichever one of these you're going to go for. Update, this is quite nice. you can check for updates because this app is built on CodeIgniter, I think, and the way that they've built it, it allows you to update directly from their servers simply by clicking that button. If there are any updates, then the app will update itself and it will alert you to any files that you might have changed, and it kind of warns you. So at the minute, I've got a little bit of a change here. So I might update store items. Oh, I'll tell you what this is. Well, I communicated with the creators of this app and said, please, could you allow me to do a screencast, and can I use my license key? And they said, yes, 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 absolutely fine. And as a sort of generous offer, they also donated me the test data generator plugin. So by clicking this, I'm actually going to install one of the store items, which is the test generator plugin, which is going to allow me to put fake data in there. So hopefully that's now done. And actually, if I go into store, go into plugins, I should now have a test data generator, which we'll use in a minute. This enables me to create a bunch of fake clients. I might create 30 clients. I'll do 14 estimates. I'll do 130 invoices. I'm going to click that, actually. Let's see what happens. I've never used this. Tick, tick, tick. Wait, wait, wait. Wait for the server to do its business. Ooh, I wonder if that's it. I wonder if we've done it. Invoices. Doesn't seem to have done. Wonder how we get that to work. Leave empty for 0. Number of clients to add. Let's try that again. Let's try add 15 clients. Number of estimates to add. Let's put 15 in there. And number of invoices. Well, let's do slightly more modest. 50 this time. Enabled. Add random data to Pancake for more easily testing plugins and themes. Just select the number of items below. Leave 0. Yeah, I think we've done that right. Enabled. I'm guessing we click enabled. We certainly did a minute ago. Save plugin settings. Do you think that did anything? I don't know. Oh, yes, look. Now we have numbers. We actually have things. Okay, fine. That seems to have worked. Wonder how many clients we've got. Let's click on that. I'm getting slightly sidetracked. Oh, yeah, look. There they are. Completely fake clients. Wow, fantastic. Okay. Anyway, we're getting slightly sidetracked. Let's go back to our update section. Anyway, what I was saying there was that I got, because I asked the developers of this app to give me that plugin, it appeared here as an update, which I just did. What you would do is check for updates periodically, and it will say here, there is an update to Pancake app. Please, please, please update it, and so on. I don't have any because it's a brand new install, and 4.8.49 is the current latest version. Actually, quite handily, this area here, there's a little blue notification when you first log in, which makes it really obvious. Your avatar here is changed to a number, and it's blue. So it says like 2 or 1, and it indicates how many updates you need to do. Errors and diagnostics. You can scan to see if there's any errors have been created. Import and export. I haven't done this ever, but you can obviously import and export things from previous legacy systems. Feeds. I do use this. This I use with Feedly to show me RSS feeds of unpaid and paid and overdue invoices, which is quite handy. Just a bizarre but really great feature. If you don't have cron on your server or don't know how to set up cron, you can actually just visit this link once in a while, and it will in the background make everything work properly. API keys, never use those, but I'm sure they'd be useful to somebody. Schedule tasks. This indicates the colors that various things on the system will become. And finally, if you have tickets, these are the colors that those tickets will be. You can have pending, open, closed, or any other type of ticket that you would like to create. Okay, so that's basically the settings. It does absolutely loads. So, going into invoices. I have, it did work twice. Okay, so let's go and view some invoices. Now, obviously, this would be completely blank in your system when you first start, but this is basically what they look like. They're very nicely labeled. This one's paid, this one's overdue, this one has been sent but is still unpaid, and so on and so forth. Okay, I can create invoices by clicking here, and I can filter by all the different clients that I've got here. So for example, let me only show ones by Marge Farrell. Mr. Marge Farrell. Sounds like a sort of peculiar female name, but there you go. This shows all the invoices from this particular client, and here you can view the invoice. Wow, that's a big invoice. Loving it. There we go. So you can view the invoice here. The client can download PDFs. I can edit it. We can send it to the client. We can go to the client area, or in our case, let's head back to the admin area. Okay. You can email this to the client. Now, because I didn't set the email system up, this will not work. But if I was to click this, there is the templated message, which you could have changed, and I would click send invoice and it would go. Hopefully you've set the clients up with their correct email address and so on. Okie doke. Right, let's go back. Okay, and I've also in here you can view PDF, edit the invoice, archive it, add a payment, duplicate it, convert to an estimate, or delete it. Okay, right, brilliant. Now let's have a look up here. You can view every invoice that's ever been created, 180 of them. You can view the paid ones, the unpaid ones, the ones which are overdue, in other words, the date by which it should have been paid have gone. Outstanding, they've been sent, but they haven't yet reached the outstanding date. They are still in that, in my case, 14-day window under which they need to be paid. Ones that haven't been sent yet, recurring ones, they're ones which just repeat over a period of time, so yearly or weekly or monthly or daily, possibly, who knows. Ones which you've archived, I've got quite a few of these. Ones which are just done and dealt with and never got really sorted, I don't need anymore, I just archive them. Reminders, this is quite useful. Reminders allows you to create templates to send out to clients on certain periods of time. So as an example, let's say a client is terrible at paying. Wow, look at this, right down at the bottom. This invoice is 938 days overdue. Okay, now you can send them a friendly reminder, and you would tick this box and you would click send reminders. I'm not going to do that because my email system wasn't set up in the settings area. And what this would do is it would send them this template, the friendly reminder template. Now, what you can do is create new templates in here. And so, for example, you could have let's say you want your templates to get more and more aggressive over time. You could say, okay, I would like this template to be chosen at 14 days, and you could write a slightly more stroppy reminder. So you haven't paid your invoice, please look at it very carefully. It's now 14 days overdue. We could put 30 days in there. You are now a whole month overdue. Your products and services are in danger of being switched off. 40. We are 24 hours away from switching your website off. If you haven't settled this within the next 72, 48, 24 hours, whatever, we're going to switch it off. So we put the content of the email in there, we put the subject line in there, and then we give it a name. So in this case, we had friendly name earlier. This might be 40-day unfriendly warning, 20-day moderately unfriendly warning, and so on. Okay, so you can create as many reminders as you like, and Pancake will take care of putting the correct template into the correct email. So as an example, if I had a rule which said at 9 days go from the friendly reminder up to the slightly less friendly reminder, it would on the 9th day, when it was 9 days overdue, it would deliberately select the next type of reminder in here. I've used this so many times and it's so effective. Okay. Reusable invoice items, I don't really know what this is, so I'm going to ignore it completely. Okay, right, users. So you can create users. Now this is me, I am the only user of this particular piece of software, Pancake app. You can create another user down here. And you can give them different permissions. So you could have a general user, some employee, and again, I'm not really sure how this works because I don't really use it in that way, but my guess is that they would have limited permissions to access a limited area of the site. But in other words, it's not just you. You can have other employees in your organization using Pancake to send out invoices and create invoices and so on. Clients, well, this is a list of all of your clients. It's organized alphabetically by first name, so A, and so on. And you can filter it. Just show me the ones beginning with A. Oh, okay, maybe it's by surname. there we go. Show me the ones with B, 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 B. I'm guessing, oh, C, I don't know. Anyway, the filtering works pretty well for me. And you can filter by particular clients and so on. You can obviously add a new client in here. You can edit any clients that you make in here, and you'll see the typical client form, title, name, company name, address, importantly the email address. If you only fill in the name and the email, that's pretty much everything you need. You can put in mobile numbers and so on and so forth. Okay. This is quite important. You want to assign support tickets to somebody in your organization. So if you've got 3 users, but you want this client to report to John Smith, your underling employee, you would add them as a user, and then you would assign support tickets for that particular customer to that person. As it is, I would decide to put them to me. Okay. When we went back to the clients area here, you can add a new client in this way. There's the blank form, and so on and so forth. Okay, so that's clients. Reports, you can run all sorts of reports. Now this will be fun because this is utterly fake data. Unpaid invoices, payments. You can view more detail on the report. It kind of creates what looks a bit like a spreadsheet, and it's got information about those particular things. Invoices, expenses, invoices per client. There's quite a lot of detail here. I don't tend to dwell in this area too much, but there you go. Tickets, there is a ticketing system, and your clients can send you tickets. If I was to go into the clients area in a new tab and go in to edit a particular client, you can allow them down here to create support tickets. If I was to save this customer has the option to create support tickets, and they will be added into this queue here. And you can even, if you wish, create paid support tickets. So a support ticket would be charged at £3 or £6 or whatever. You know, you can have premium rates for support tickets. Anyway, they all live in this little system. To me, this feels like a sort of a bit of software which Pancake haven't developed themselves. I could be completely wrong, but it doesn't look like the rest of the app, and I'm not sure if this is something which they've bought in and integrated. But anyway, there you go. It works very, very well indeed. You can see all of your tickets here, and you can see all of your archive tickets just here. Okay. You can create proposals. Now, proposals are just things that you would like the client to agree to. Okay, so we've got none. We haven't created any proposals. So what we would do is we would add a title, new proposal. We'll select a client and we'll give it a proposal number 1. Okay, and this is great. This is what the client actually see when they get sent the proposal. Okay, this is a little bit complicated, but down here are pages on the side. Okay, and did you see it quickly update itself there? It was saving in the background. Now, what you can do is you can send this URL to a customer of yours, and when they log in, they will see this proposal. Now, quite helpfully, you can add new sections. You see a new section just came in there. Let's call this section 1. You see it's updated at the side here. Let's call this section 2. It's updated at the side here. I can rearrange those sections, so section 2 goes to the top. I can delete section 2. Okay, so I could add as many sections as I like. That's very nice. I can add a new page, and now I've got page 2. I can add a new section, and you can also add sections from templates. Now, I haven't saved any templates, but what you can do is when you've written in these bits here, you can write your contents. Here is a section which I might reuse. Okay, and we'll call this, put a little subheading here of subheading. Not very helpful, I know, but there you go. Okay, great. I can save this as a section template. Done. Now down here, I could reuse that section template There it is. Use this section template and you'll see it's duplicated it. Now this is very, very, very useful if there's bits in your proposals which you use again and again and again. So for example, you might have terms and conditions, you might have, I don't know, something which they need to sign, you might have how your business works, how long they've got to pay, you may very well put in things like the sort of services that you offer, upsells and things. You can create as many templates as you like and just quickly drop them in by adding them as templates. Okay, click send to a client. You can download a PDF version. Your client, like I say, can accept it from here or reject it from here, and you'll be notified about that. And you can go to what's called the client area, and this is a URL which you would send to the client. And it's just got a resume of absolutely everything that's happened for that particular client. Okay, so that's very, very useful indeed. I really, really like this feature. So in this proposals area, I really like the way that looks. I'm not sure I actually properly saved that, so I don't appear to have it in my proposal section. I don't think I ever actually saved it properly. But anyway, there you go. That's how proposals work. You can send those out and they look really beautiful, very professional. Expenses, you can add expenses. I honestly don't really use this very much, so honestly you'd have to explore that yourself. Projects, so you can set up projects. Okay, so in here you might have, oh, I don't know, website build for, I don't know, new school. Okay, what's your default currency? Who is the client that it's being done for? Are you doing a flat rate or an hourly rate? Let's do an hourly rate of, let's do £50 per hour. How many hours is it projected to take? Well, let's say 100. And when's the due date? Well, let's say it's, that would be silly. Let's put, I don't know, Monday the 11th of January 2016, and a bit of a description here. Blah. Okay. Is it viewable in the client area? So the client area was the bit that I just showed you, where the client can see a resume of absolutely everything that's happened for them. Click Create Project, and you now have a project here. Any other projects will sit alongside of it. You can go into the project. I love this bit. This is great. And you can assign tasks. Task 1, return. Task 2, return. Now, obviously, you're not going to type task 2 and task 3 hundreds of times. That would be silly. But if you click the little down arrow here, you can see some more information about it. You've got task notes, view entries, discuss task, edit the task, and so on. And you can actually click the timer here, and a little clock begins. Did you notice the little timer appear up here? Very cool. Right, let's put this up. I wonder if it's going to work. Yes, I now have a floating timer, look, which is exactly the same, and it's adding time to this particular task, which is great. So if I press stop, now a little bit buggy, this one doesn't get updated by what's doing on this one, but if I was to refresh the page, I don't know how many seconds we got to. I think it was about 16 or 18 or something like that. And we were to go into this tasks sort of timesheet, if you like. So there's a view timesheet down here. It did stop at 24 seconds. I've never had a problem with this, but it's just something to be wary of. You want to make sure that the tasks are stopped. Tick it off, tick it off, tick it off. We've done it. Now there's a whole slew of things which I'm not going to really go in here, but you can add a milestone, you can add another task, you can add a time entry, you can generate an invoice off of all of these tasks, which will take how long it, the timing it took. You can add some expenses which are up here, and I said I didn't really understand those. View the timesheet is what I just did. Okay, this is how much time it's taken. And then if you were to actually create an invoice, it would work out this 24 seconds worth of work against the rate that you put in the settings section. So in my case, I think I put 30 minutes. Let's do that. Let's create an invoice. And it's put in my case, it's got that I've worked 0.25 Don't quite know where that's come from. And it's got me charging out £12.50, and I would click save and then send that to the client. You'll notice up here as well, this nice little feature is alerting me to the fact that certain things have been achieved by my employees, so it might be a task that's been achieved and so on and so forth. Anyway, the projects are just absolutely fantastic. 66.7% of that project has been completed. If I tick that one off, then it will be 100%, and I'll get a little notification up here. I'm not really doing justice to this, actually. This area of the app is amazing. I wish I had more time, but I'm trying to achieve all of this in under, I don't know, let's say an hour. And needless to say, this section, this project section, is very, very, very good indeed. The ability to add milestones, the ability to add tasks and time entries and generate invoices and estimates and so on. A lot of this you can send out to your clients, and they'll be really pleased to see. And obviously that will go into the client area, and they've got a permanent online repository of all the work you're doing. So that's quite nice in that you can just give them the URL for their client area, and they can see that you're busy working without you having to phone them up all the time and say what you're up to next. These little tasks will appear as done. Little snapshot down here of what's going on. There's another section here, credit notes. I'm guessing that you can apply credit to your customers if you wish. I've never used it, but it appears to be possible. And you can create estimates. Now these estimates go into I should probably view all the estimates. These estimates can go into your proposals. Let's get rid of this filter so that all customers are showing. These estimates here, let's view one. These are sort of things that you might estimate your clients would like. Let's say that they give you a request for proposal and you estimate that various things are going to cost these amounts. You can actually put these straight into your proposals. I'm not going to show you the process to do that, but you can actually drop these estimates straight into your proposals, and it makes sending out your proposals even better than it already is. Right, I think I'm going to wind it up there. I'm not sure if that's been very helpful. Hopefully it's been a little bit helpful. Hopefully it's given you some idea of what Pancake can do, and the fact that for $180 it's the most amazing value for money. I think it saved me hundreds and hundreds. I've been using it for about 4 years, so it's definitely saved me hundreds and hundreds of dollars, or pounds in my case, of fees for using other online services. Hopefully the same would be true for you. Go and check it out. It really is brilliant. If you've got any questions, just add to the comments at the bottom of this blog post, and I'll try and be a little bit more specific. I kind of lost my way about 3/4 of the way through there a little bit, I think. So anyway, hopefully it's been useful, and see you next time.